Hi everyone, welcome to this JavaScript tutorial. Today we're going to have a go at coding the Green Pigs app. Green Pigs is an app designed for kids living in big cities like Tokyo. Every time they see an animal in their neighborhood, they click a button on the app. So here is the app. We've got an image here, so I'm guessing in HTML we're using the img tag. We've got some information here. Looks quite big. I'm guessing we're using the h1 tag. And we've got two buttons. When we click the +1 button, this count increases. So I'm imagining a variable is controlling this count. And when we click the -1 button, the count decreases. Notice that if the count becomes 10 or more, the image changes to a pink pig. And again, if the count is less than 10, we see the green pig. So this is the Green Pigs app, and we're going to have a go at coding it. To set up, you'll need to create a new folder on your computer called Green Pigs, download these 3 project files and move them into your project folder. Open greenpigs.html in a browser and a text editor. Okay? Split screen might be helpful. Well, let's have a go at doing that. You can see that on my computer, in my JavaScript folder, I already have a subfolder called Green Pigs, and I've already downloaded and moved the 3 project files into that folder. So if you haven't done that, pause the video, get that done. Okay, what we're going to do is open greenpigs.html with a browser. I'm going to use Google Chrome, and we're going to open the same file with a text editor. I'm going to use Sublime Text. There we go, and some kind of split screen might be helpful as we work our way through this tutorial. Let's look at the body section of the web page, which is this section here. We've got an image using the img tag. The source is greenpig.svg. Remember, that's one of the files that you downloaded. There it is. We can just about see it. Then we've got an h1 tag displaying some information, animals 0. There it is. And then we've got a button with +1. And there it is. Now what we want to happen when we click the button, we want to update this number. Okay? So let's do some on-click code. When we click the button, we're going to call a function called increaseCount. Okay, let's just spread this out a little bit. When we click the button, we're going to call this JavaScript function. Now let's go into the JavaScript. This is the JavaScript section. Ooh, we've got a variable called count. Okay, so this variable is going to help us control the count of the animals. We'll get back to that in a moment. First, let's design the increaseCount function. Okay. Now, when we click the button and we call this function, we're going to increase this count by 1. And this is how to do it. Okay. We're increasing the value stored in that variable by 1 each time we call this function. Now we need to get that information into the web page, back into this h1 tag here. How can JavaScript find this tag? Okay, you guessed it, we're going to give the tag an ID. I'm just going to call it pig. Okay, this is going to be my pig ID. So now that JavaScript can find it, we're going to use our classic document.getElement by ID. Remember that ID is pig. Dot. We want to change this, right? This is the inner HTML of this tag with the ID of pig. So dot inner HTML. Just going to stretch this out a little bit. Equals the word animals the word animals followed by a quotation mark, and then we're going to fix onto that the value stored in that variable. So it's be animals 0, animals 1, animals 2. Depends what value that variable, it starts at 0, remember, is storing. Okay. So let's Command S to save that, and let's refresh our page and see if it works as we expect. Yay! It works. Okay. Now what we also need is a -1 button. So let's do that. I'm going to copy that code. I'm going to make a new one above, and this is going to be the decrease. When we click this button, it's going to be decrease count. It displays -1 there. Okay. And now we need to design the decrease count function. Function decrease count. What this does is it takes away 1 from the count to update the value of the count. So count equals count -1. And we need to put that new information into the web page. So we're going to do this again. Let's just copy and paste this code. Document.getElementById pig, which is this one. Yay, found it. The inner HTML, which is this bit here, is going to be animals with the new value of the count. So let's save that and refresh the page. Does it work? Bom, 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 bom. Bom, 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 bom. Bom, 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 bom. Bom, 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 bom. Okay, it works. Brilliant. Now remember, if the count is greater than or equal to 10, we're going to display this image here, okay, pinkpig.svg, okay. So when we increase the count, let's just make a bit of room here. After we've updated the count, let's put a bit of logic in. This is going to be an if logic in JavaScript, and this is how to do it. Notice all these brackets. If this is true in the round brackets, we're going to run some code which is in the curly brackets. This is how you write an if statement in JavaScript. So if count is greater than or equal to 10, we're going to change the src of this image to be pinkpig.svg. We have a problem. How can JavaScript find this image tag? You guessed it. We're going to give it an ID. Let's call it pigpic. Okay. So we give this tag an ID. Now JavaScript can find it. Document.getElementById pigpic. That's the one that we're looking for. So JavaScript goes looking through the body. Can it find pigpic? Yay, we found it. .src equals something. And it equals whatever we called that image. pinkpig.svg. Pinkpig.svg. Okay. So when we click the increase count button, when we click the +1 button, we call this function, increase count. Bing. We update the count. We update the message. And we also, if the count is greater than or equal to 10, we change the image in this image tag here. Okay, that's how that function works now. So let's save that. We'll go back to and refresh. Let's see if it works. Dum, 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 dum. Yeah, it worked. Okay. Now we also need to do the same for this button here. When we get to 10, it's still pink, but when it's less than 10, it should go back to being a green pig image. Okay, so open the worksheet and see if you can continue the tasks related to the Green Pigs app.